Welcome to Crypto Corner, everyone. In today's episode, Bitcoin breaks above the 23,400 resistance for the first time since last August, now racing towards the 24,000 mark and pulling the whole crypto market up with it. And is TRON on the path of becoming a legal tender in not one, not two, but 5 countries this year? I'll give you more details now. Let's get started. So welcome to episode 575 of Crypto Corner, the video podcast where we talk everything crypto related to help you navigate safely in the cryptoverse. It's Monday, we start a new week, and as usual we take a look at the markets first. As you see, a lot of green across the board. The price of Bitcoin rose above the 23,500 resistance over the weekend, and it was a Sunday pump in fact that the value brought the asset's market cap above $452 billion, and as of right now Bitcoin is trading at $23,649, 1.95% up in the last 24 hours, a 4% gain in the last 7 days. Bitcoin's price gained nearly $1,350 by that measure. Today's movement represents a 5-month high as the crypto asset is approaching 24,000 for the first time since August 2022. Bitcoin additionally saw a $32 million in total liquidations. Over 75% of the shorts were liquidated. Ethereum, meanwhile, is up 5.7% over the last 24 hours, while the entire cryptocurrency market is up a more modest $40 billion over the same period. The global crypto market cap has now remained over $1 trillion for 8 consecutive days, the longest time since June 2022. Bitcoin is keeping the momentum going while the DXY, the dollar index, which measures the value of the US dollar against a basket of currencies, rose by 0.03% to a reading of 101.92, edging away from last week's 8-month low of 101.50. However, it remained on track for a 4th straight monthly loss of 1.5%, pressured downward by expectations that the Fed was nearing the end of its rate hike cycle and that interest rates would not have to rise as high as previously feared. I see a bounce coming up for the dollar though, which we have to keep a close eye on. This could start another pullback in Bitcoin, and there's also resistance coming for Bitcoin in the mid 24,000 range to 25,000 range, these two red lines here. So this is where we are heading to right now, and the DXY, as you can see, oversold stochastic RSI, also the rainbow adaptive RSI is in the oversold region. These are indicators that a bounce on the upside from here is to be followed, and this would cause the pullback in Bitcoin that I've been talking about for some time now. It's coming. Maybe towards the end of this week, we'll see how it goes, but the bullish sentiment is still very strong. I mean, the overall market sentiment turned bullish a few days ago, last week. This is the token metrics, one of the indicators of token metrics that, as you see here, on the 20th of January, we turned bullish. And this is for the whole market, the overall market sentiment. And here you can see it's a reading of 80. So we are getting in the greed, in the, pretty much in the greed area. This is not the fear and greed index per se. This is token metrics, is their own bull and bear reading, meaning we are now in the hands of the bulls. But even if we look at the actual fear and greed index, you can find it on my website crypto-corner.com. Here you will find the fear and greed index, and as you see, we are now in greed as well. 61 is not as high as the reading here of this metric, but both metrics are estimating that we are now in the greed zone rather than fear anymore. So typically we don't stay in that region for too long. At some point a correction will come. We will get here in the neutral or even in the fear zone. In the fear and greed index, we are definitely going to go in the fear zone again. And this is when we're going to be talking about accumulation. At this point, during these pumps, especially, this one right now as we are approaching another resistance, this is a time to lock in some profits. For me at least. This is by no means a financial or investment advice. These are my personal opinions that I'm sharing with you. Now, at the same time, Bitcoin's mining difficulty level rose by 4.68% on Sunday, hitting an all-time high as the network's hash rate also continued to increase. Bitcoin mining difficulty, which determines how much computing power is required to verify blocks on the blockchain in exchange for Bitcoin's rewards, changes roughly every 2 weeks, and the latest reading, which came in at 39.35 trillion, was nearly 48% higher than the same reading on January 21st of last year, when the reading was around 26.64 trillion. Now, in other news, TRON is about to become the first altcoin to be recognized as legal tender in an independent country, or 5 countries. Well, it sounds like a joke, right? I thought this was fake news kind of thing when I first saw it a few days ago, but according to reports, the Eastern Caribbean island of St. Martin is making moves in that direction. Here's the story. A member of parliament, Mr. Rolando Brizan, the leader of the United People's Party and second vice chairman of St. Martin's parliament, who has been a firm supporter of crypto for some time now, has now initiated the proposal of a law to designate the TRON protocol as the country's blockchain infrastructure and the TRON-based cryptocurrency, TRX, as legal tender for everyday use. Yes, that's true. I must say that I'm confused as to why the hell would you want an altcoin, if anything, when using any crypto as money. It makes sense to choose Bitcoin as it's decentralized and hack-proof, at least that's been tested and proven. Why would anyone want to go for an altcoin that has a much smaller network? Is it that Tron is much more centralized than people think? So the ledger could, if needed, be manipulated, or maybe is it that Mr. Ronaldo Brisson just doesn't like Bitcoin? I found that in the past he made headlines by requesting that his salary be paid entirely in Bitcoin Cash. Not a very wise choice if you ask me. Yes, the fees are lower on that blockchain, but not even close to being a decentralized ecosystem. So my take is the guy is simply not a fan of BTC. It's impossible to control it, so he's going for a smaller, younger network with a very public frontman, Justin Sun, who is desperate to make Tron a legitimate cryptocurrency among so much criticism and various controversies among the crypto community about Tron network, so somehow he's won the affection of the Caribbean region, it seems. In fact, you probably didn't know this, but in October 2022, the Commonwealth of Dominica officially announced Tron as its national blockchain following the passage of the virtual asset business legislation a few months earlier, which the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank assisted in drafting. Dominica also at that time adopted 7 Tron-based cryptocurrencies as legal tender. Here is the tweet. They say it's official, all TRON cryptos including TRX, BTT, the BitTorrent token, JST, NFT, USDD, USD Tether, TrueUSD are granted statutory status as authorized digital currency and medium of exchange in the Commonwealth of Dominica effective on October 7th, 2022. So with all the Tron related scams that are circulating in the online space and they decided to pick this blockchain, something doesn't quite add up. Did Justin Sun buy these politicians, or what exactly is the case here? I understand that Ethereum fees are too high, so okay, but Bitcoin fees aren't too high. And there's always layer 2s like Lightning Network. By the way, speaking of layer 2s, catch my next episode where I will discuss this in more detail yet again. But back to Tron. So, St. Martin is now following in the footsteps of their sister land, Dominica, in adopting Tron's ecosystem for their blockchain-based national digital financial grid. Interesting. Maybe Tron has a place in your crypto portfolio after all. I'm certainly considering, it's on my watch list, but I'm not jumping in just yet. I want to see more details on this. According to Justin Sun, there might be 5 in total countries joining the pack. He actually said via a series of tweets that his goal for this year is to see at least 5 countries add the Tron digital asset as a legal tender and be recognized by governments as a valid form of payment for goods and services, which could spur wider adoption of cryptocurrency cryptocurrencies worldwide. He noted that the goal is ambitious but can be achieved with hard work and dedication. This is his tweet. This is actually a series of tweets that he posted. He said one of the major advantages of making TRX legal tender is that it will increase its legitimacy and usage. When a government recognizes a digital currency as a legal tender, it gives a sense of trust and security to the general public, making it more likely to invest and use it. To be clear, Justin Sun lives in Grenada, one of the smaller Caribbean islands with a population of around 100,000 people. This is like a small town by any standard. He's not only a resident there, he is in fact the representative of Grenada at the World Trade Organization. He's the official country ambassador. According to Wikipedia, he stepped down from his role as a CEO of TRON to become a diplomat for Grenada. I mean, it's a little bit funny how he would step down as a TRON CEO, a supposedly decentralized network, yet somehow it had a CEO. But in fact, they did move on to being a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, after he stepped down. So this is how we can talk about decentralization on TRON. And which are the other countries that are candidates for being the next to adopt TRON as a legal tender? Well, we have Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia and St. Vincent. All of these are sharing the same central bank, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, which is in charge with the issuance of native currencies. So by convincing members of that bank that TRON is the blockchain to choose for the digital finance, it's a huge win for Justin, as TRON could be adopted by all of them, or at least 5, as he claims. So it could be any of these, whoever Justin has been able to make good friends with, basically. Is that going to make TRON a legitimate crypto? Well, yes, but my argument is it should be a legitimate crypto before any government makes it a legal tender, not the other way around. Meanwhile, Bitcoin already enjoys a legal tender status in the Central African Republic and, of course, El Salvador. But if you're not at all familiar with TRON, here's all you're missing in a nutshell. Founded in September 2017 by Justin Sun, the TRON network saw its public launch in May 2018. July 2018 also marked the ecosystem integration of BitTorrent, a pioneer in decentralized Web3 services, boasting over 100 million monthly active users. The TRON network has gained incredible traction in recent years. As of January this year, it has over 138 million total user accounts on the blockchain, more than 4.7 billion total transactions, and over $11 billion in total value locked, as reported on TRON Scams. In addition, TRON hosts the largest circulating supply of USD Tether tokens across the globe, overtaking Tether on Ethereum since April last year. The TRON network completed full decentralization in December 2021 and is now a community-governed DAO. In May 2022, the over-collateralized decentralized stablecoin USDD was launched on the TRON blockchain, backed by the first ever crypto reserve for the blockchain industry, called TRON DAO Reserve, and marking TRON's official entry into the decentralized stablecoin space. Most recently, in October 2022, TRON was designated as the national blockchain for the Commonwealth of Dominica, which is the first time a major public blockchain partnered with a sovereign nation to develop its national blockchain infrastructure. However, it is worth mentioning that along with TRON's increase in user base and popularity in recent years, there has been a steady increase in TRON-related scam networks and schemes, mainly high-yield cloud mining or staking schemes, that you should keep away from, and I mean any of them. Just don't fall for it. The higher the returns, the more fake they are. If anything, just hold the TRON tokens, your TRON tokens, in a self-custodial wallet, or you can use Poloniex exchange if you must. They pay you TRON staking rewards just for holding your TRON tokens there. I've been using Poloniex since I first started with crypto, and it was later acquired by Justin Sun, so it is a TRON-based exchange right now. Lastly, Justin Sun is still very much the main guy when it comes to marketing and promoting the Tron ecosystem, and despite having officially departed as a CEO and moving Tron in the DAO direction, I would still argue that he is in charge with what happens next, and the adoption of the Tron network as legal tender in the Caribbean region is entirely his doing. It is not the decentralized nature of the Tron DAO that attracted the government officials to this deal, so don't fall into a Tron FOMO and go all in. Tron could have a bright future ahead, but I smell corruption, and one day this could come back to bite them. If you invest in Tron for the longer term, make sure you stay on top of all the news and future developments with the Tron ecosystem, and be prepared to get out at the first sight of controversy. As we saw with XRP, as soon as there is any legal trouble, the token dumps and the value can drop significantly, quickly wiping out most of the gains, so never be complacent about the cryptocurrencies in your portfolio. That's my advice. One of our sponsors is Token Metrics. I chose them to be one of our partners specifically because I use this website a lot in my marketing analysis and research. If you want to know when is the right time to enter a position on any coin or token, and more importantly, when to exit, because this is really the difficult part. There are loads of metrics here to help you with that. This is one of their new tools that helps me analyze the market better and spot the right entry or exit points. As you can see, it gives you a green signal when the market turns bullish, meaning we are in an uptrend, and the red signals indicate when the market has turned bearish. Thus, exiting positions and preventing losses becomes really easy with this tool. There are so many tools that you can use. Here's another one, the out season Bitcoin season indicator, that gives me a very good idea if it's time to diversify into outs or should my focus be on Bitcoin instead. There is no need to be a back holder during a bear market. I think by now that much is clear. And with this tool, it's a no-brainer. They provide in-depth data and stats on all cryptocurrencies and a lot of new upcoming projects, launches, and token sales too. This is where I find unknown gems before they hit the mainstream, and I particularly like their emails with detailed breakdown on technicals and fundamentals on the projects that they research, and their expertise in this field is second to none. You can also customize your portfolio and track your P&L day to day, and you can create separate portfolios for different exchanges that you use to monitor your progress in the most efficient way. There are so many categories to choose from when analyzing the markets, way more than I've seen on any data aggregator website, so you can really advance your analysis and improve your investment strategies. I've been a premium member of Token Metrics for the past 2 years, and I'm using it on a daily basis. They send us emails, host webinars and podcasts with technical analysis, and they go deeper into their research of new projects or current market conditions. I find this really helpful in my own market analysis, as they give me a hint to things that I might have missed or overlooked otherwise. They offer a trial period and you get a 10% discount and a free ebook with my link, so go check it out, it's in the description below. And with that said, this wraps up today's episode of Crypto Corner, everyone. Thanks for staying until the end. If you like this, show your support by leaving a like and a comment below. Also, make sure that you check out the links in the description, where I drop the links to all of the crypto services that I'm personally using and that I recommend to you. And also, while you're here, just pick another one of my videos, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.